a knock every now and then, but I think we've seen the patience of Walt Rice be rewarded over the last couple of games. Finally hit that first home run. Went back and looked at the numbers over the course of his career. He's been anywhere from between 15 and 25 homers per year, so you realize that it was only going to be a matter of time before we saw the power numbers start to creep up again, and the last two games have been exactly that. That had to feel so good for him. No coincidence that it's Mustache May, by the way, and he's rocking a sweet mustache to get that home run too. But I just think, like I said, the patience that Walt has shown, having him down there in the bottom of the lineup, he's such a weapon. And now that he's starting to swing the bat with a little pop, I think it's going to be a great addition, and it's going to be a very scary thought in that 8 and 9 spot.
Whose mustache is better? That is the question.
See, I don't like being defeated. That's a good chance I will.
This team has been firing on all cylinders. Pitching staff has been great. Paul Bird is talking with pitching coach Jeremy Hefner next.
The Atlanta Braves on Braves Vision. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Rooms to Go. Don't miss the Memorial Day sale going on now. By Toyota, visit your local Toyota dealers today. And by Racetrack, whatever gets you going.
Welcome back, everybody. Braves getting ready to take the field against the Cubs. I'm with Braves pitching coach Jeremy Hefner in his first year. I've done my research. I've talked to the guys, and they said you can do it all. You can talk the metrics, you can talk old school, the way you think and approach, teach all kinds of grips. But in your opinion, what's your greatest strength as a pitching coach?
I hope that I relate well to the guys, and maybe that's expressed through grips and metrics and old school thoughts and those types of things, but I've lived the game in a lot of ways. I didn't ever sign the multi-year contract, so I don't resonate with Chris Sale on the money aspect of things, but pretty much everything else in terms of options and released and signing with new teams and all those things, like I've lived it. And so being with them in the good and the bad, I think at least I think that's what my strength is, and people have told me that, so I guess I'll answer it that way.
Well, I certainly resonate with that, because the game was not as easy for me as Chris Sale. Not to take anything away from Chris, I just wasn't that good.
Same. But
you got to be happy with your pitching staff this year. State of the Union address in 30 seconds.
Yeah, very pleased with how open everyone's been. Some new ideas that maybe they had thought about previous, but maybe didn't fully buy in. And a lot of guys have fully bought in to what we're trying to do as a collective and as individuals. And I think that's the key to our success is as much as this is a team sport and we root each other on, we have to do really well individually, much like a tennis or a golfer or any individual athlete would do. We have to be really good at what we do individually, and then that helps the collective. And so I feel like we've done a really good job here through the first 45 games or how many it's been. Got a long ways to go, and so now it's up to us to stay consistent and be true to ourselves and continue to do the things that we know that will lead to success.
Braves going for the sweep tonight. Chris Sale on the hill, Ben Brown and his stellar knuckle curve on the other side. David White in the office, Brandon and CJ and Frenchie on hot sticks. It's a full house. First pitch coming up next.
You're watching the Atlanta Braves on Braves Vision. Looking to take the lead here in the 8th. Yastrzemski, right center. That ball is down. Harris is home. The Braves grab the lead. Dubon, deep to left. See you later. Another fun night at Truist Park as the Braves took games 1 and 2 from the Chicago Cubs, and tonight on a gorgeous Thursday in Atlanta, the Bravos try to bring out the brooms against the Cubbies. Welcome to Atlanta Braves baseball. Brandon Gaudin, CJ Nikowski, Jeff Francoeur, Paul Bird with you from Truist Park. And the Atlanta Braves take the field. And strolling out to the center of the diamond is none other than the former Cy Young Award winner, the southpaw Chris Sale.
Certainly has been a great start to the season, and especially here at Truist Park for Chris Sale, where he is 4-0 with a 0.75 ERA in this ballpark. Where you mentioned it, it's been an excellent season for him, and it's been a good challenge tonight because the Cubs are pretty good against left-handed pitchers.
But so far in this series, it's a lineup that has struggled. They're hitting just .086 against Atlanta here in the 2 games. There's a racetrack lineup for Craig Counsell as they look to improve on those numbers, and Nico Horner will get it started at the top of the order. Time for the Ford Keys, and for that we turn it over to Jeff Francoeur.
Yeah, CJ, you said it. They do hit lefties well, but they struggle with the change a little bit. That's the one pitch, so hopefully Sale's got that. And CJ, what's one of my favorite movies?
Karate Kid?
Oh, and we've won the first 2, so that means sweep the leg.
Wax on, wax off.
Can't, Sensei.
There is Craig Counsell and Walt Weiss. Those 2 guys, by the way, a lot of mutual respect. They played together with the Rockies a little bit in '95 and '97. And Walt Weiss used to buy Craig Counsell breakfast at spring training when Counsell was trying to pick Walt's brains. So there is a relationship between those 2 that goes back 3 decades.
Yeah, he's going to repay the favor by letting us
Give
sweep.
him a sweep.
Get a little sweep.
Sorry.
Guys saying play balls, Jack.
Somebody's ready, scoring some points for at home.
And we have been blessed by incredible weather all week long. We have not seen a cloud in 3 days here at Truist Park, and that continues tonight. It is 71 degrees and just gorgeous.
You know what is going to change tonight, and it's unfortunate, but it's going to have to happen. Chris Sale so far this season, he's thrown 296 sliders. Any guesses how many fastballs he's thrown?
296.
296.
Wow.
Well, it could even at the end of the night. You don't know.
You're right. I don't know. I got a hunch.
To do.
Horner at the plate. And Sale starts it off with some paint. The home plate umpire tonight back there is Mr. John Lipka.
It's been good this year. Ranks 25th out of 81 umpires. When we look at his correct call percentage, he has had 11 ABS overturns in his 8 games.
Been an ump at the major league level since 2017, so becoming a veteran, 38 years old back there. And the 37-year-old Chris Sale gets ahead of Horner 0-2.
Now there's that changeup that CJ gave me for the 4 keys.
Thought I saw somebody looking over my shoulder.
Yeah, come on. You think I got through high school?
There's the slider. Horner not going after it. A ball and 2 strikes. Well, the Braves 30-13, getting that 30th win yesterday. Second fastest in franchise history to 30 wins. Only the '98 team that Walt Weiss was a shortstop on got to 30 wins faster than this crew. Speaking of shortstops, there's Ha-Seong Kim. Defense brought to you by Racetrack, Dubon, Harris, and Yastrzemski. And Kim back out there, his 3rd start of the season since coming off the IL, and another time behind the dish for Drake Baldwin. So the Cubs have 5 hits in the first 2 games of this series. This guy has 3 of them. And now he's got 4 of the 6. Alex Bregman to center field.
Well, nobody has seen Chris Sale more than Alex Bregman. It's not even close when you look at all these Cubs hitters, making now 31 plate appearances against Chris Sale in his career, and it's just his 7th hit.
Now, coming into this series, Bregman had taken 22 in a row first pitches. So against a guy like Sale, pretty smart right there. Try to jump that first pitch.
And he has a single to show for it. Now here's Ian Happ. For the Cubbies, this 4-game losing streak, their longest of the season. And the Braves on a 4-game win streak. Off the end of the bat. And that will drop in the Bermuda Triangle. Yaz will throw it to second. He thought about going to third, but Bregman was already well past second, so they are at the corners.
That's just one of those, you make the perfect pitch and you get the result you wanted. It just happened to find a spot that no one's getting to that ball.
And it was the changeup to get some really weak contact right off the end. You can see it there. Just a bad break. A good read by Alex Bregman, but a bad break for Sale.
And smart by Yaz to go to second there. Keep that double play intact.
Hitting cleanup tonight is Seiya Suzuki. 0 for 7 in the series with 3 strikeouts. .98 that time for the southpaw. Suzuki in the final season of that 5-year $85 million deal that he signed after 9 seasons in his native Japan.
He's already in the final year of that?
Yes, he is. Hard to believe. I know.
It is.
They looked like they were trying to trade him 2 years ago in the offseason. It didn't happen. It's probably a good thing because he has been really good for the Cubs these last 2 years.
And he said pretty openly this offseason he hopes to be back in that Cubs uniform in the future.
I do love that, though. Do you ever hear many people say I don't?
Yeah, that'd be kind of awkward. I really want to go somewhere else, but I'll try to ride out the rest of this year.
If you could have said it out loud, I think Kyle Tucker might have last year as a Cub, because it seemed like he had 1 foot out the door, and
he also
seemed
knew
to be okay with it.
He was going to have a lot of offers coming.
He got paid buku bucks to go out to play for the Dodgers. Check down, he went. James Hoy, the crew chief down there, ringing up Suzuki.
That's sweeping the leg right there. That back foot slider, so tough to lay off. He threw on the pitch before, almost got him to go. So smart move by Drake and Chris Sale to go right back to it again. And this time you got him enough.
Chris Sale gets a lot of those, right, from right-handed hitters on that nasty slider, because it starts so far off the plate, then finishes in off the plate. You see it as a strike a good amount of the way.
You want to know difference between aces right there? You see a lot of good pitchers. They give up first and third, but then Sale has the ability to take it to another level to get that strikeout.
And now he'll look for that third out here against Shaw. Mentioned the other day for Shaw, not as much playing time this year because they got Bregman over there at third base now, so he's playing a utility role, but he gets the start tonight against the lefty Sale. Just caught the corner, 2-1.
See how he's pitching him. 3 straight sliders here in a row to Shaw. See if he tries to burn one here on the inside part.
15th pitch of the inning. Been filling up the zone. 10 strikes. He burned at 98.
It's the other thing we've noticed here, I think, early on, right, with Chris Sale, and because this is a big moment, he knows how to reach back for a little bit more, but we've seen it earlier in games this year. And there's a good example at 98 in the first.
Now just showing you, right? First and third now. 3 straight sliders at 80. You're able to get that by. And as a hitter now, you're not very confident. You just got the heater blowing up by you up high. He's got a good slider change up.
Spin him again? What do you think?
Blow the cheese.
I went slider, and it's foul. Shaw just ahead of that. You want some elevated gas?
I want cheese.
Yeah.
You want it elevated?
Just 98 wherever you want, to be honest with you. But
yeah, luckily, he was just in front of this enough to hook it foul.
And I'm always the guy, right, that like you just showed on that fastball, you got it by him. So I don't like speeding his bat up. He started with 3 sliders, right?
What will he bring here with the 6th pitch of the at bat? He brings elevated gas. It's 98. Matt Shaw and the Cubs are down in the first. Nothing but fresh Atlanta air for Mr. Shaw. And the Bravos are coming up. Blue skies smiling at you here at Truist Park. Bottom of the first, Sale gets out of the jam of the top half. Baldwin will lead it off. Racetrack lineup. And Dubon, who had the exclamation mark last night, batting 5th. He had that 2-run homer in the 8th that helped the Braves win it 4-1. And it is Ben Brown, the 6'6" righty, on the mound for the Cubbies.
He's got a big arm, and he's made some adjustments this past offseason. He has added a 2-seam fastball, which has made him into more of a ground ball pitcher. You heard Birdie talking about it. He's got a great curveball as well. But the 2-seamer, I think, has changed his trajectory, and now he gets his 2nd start of the season.
And because of the injuries, most recently to Boyd in that rotation, it's given Brown the opportunity. Now, he's made starts before. He's been a swingman for the Cubs the last couple of years. But he's got a shot at the rotation here in the near future.
He had struggled as a starter, and it makes it interesting, right? Is that his year wasn't great last year. You mentioned him being a swing man. You get into the offseason, you make some adjustments, add this 2-seamer, which is a good pitch to have as a starter. Helps keep the pitch count down, try to get deeper in the game. And so now, even though he's got a history, he's a different kind of guy this season.
As Drake won a challenge, that was off the plate, but not going to roll the dice here in the 1st inning.
That ball was definitely off the plate. I'm a little shocked Drake didn't pull the trigger on that one. We talk all the time about not doing it too early in moments, but that ball looked off the plate.
But instead of strikeout, here's a racetrack defense for the Cubbies with old friend Dansby Swanson out there again at short. And his former mate up the middle, Ozzie Albies, at the plate.
You see that at the beginning there, top 3 hitters, 295.
All 295.
It's almost unheard of in baseball today.
CJ loves the symmetry.
I mean, it's nice to see all the same numbers, but as long as they're good numbers. Nobody wants to see 3 202s.
225 are all 3.
Yeah, 295, 8 homers, 25 driven in for Ozzie. Nice snag over there by Bush. Well, you tip your cap. That was a nice play.
It's been some good defense in this series, and we know the Cubs come in as one of the better defensive teams in baseball. A lot of times it's focused on the outfield, but that's a very nice play there by Bush.
That was a good scoop.
And a guy who can do that is at the plate right now at Matt Olson.
So did you see that play Nico Horner made yesterday with the glove that kind of got everything started in the 8th? They called that a hit, and they haven't changed it.
Did they really?
Yeah.
And it looked like he had time to switch it to his hand and throw it.
Sure, I just figured error.
Yeah, we said as much on the broadcast, but Michael will take it.
It wasn't until the end of the game when I looked up at the line score, and I was like, well, no, they have an error. And it said 0-0 for both.
Wow. So airless baseball.
Take 100 of those.
Neither side has committed one in this series.
Phil Maton's agent might be making a phone call because I think it cost him. Those runs went from earned to unearned, or vice versa.
And then he gave up that 2-run blast to Dubon, and Truist Park got about as loud as you will hear it during the regular season.
It's the hard thing for Maton, though. He doesn't throw it that hard, so he's got to have pinpoint control.
Yeah.
Brown looking for a 1-2-3 inning here. 2-2 to Olson. Check down, but no, according to Sean Barber.
It's been the biggest difference for me with Matt Olson, too. His ability, you've seen all year, 2-2, tough counts like that, taking close pitches.
He shouldn't have taken that one. That one fell in there. The knuckle curve from Brown. So a 1-2-3 first for the righty.
Welcome back to Truist, everybody. No score, top two. Talking to Braves pitching coach Jeremy Hefner earlier today. He was very gracious and very kind. I wanted him to brag on all of his pitchers because they have been so good this year. But he wanted to talk about the defense and the offense and how it all works together, saying that when you're pitching and you have great defense, it makes it easy to throw strikes and trust your defense. And with this offense, it's been so good. We just have to keep it close because we have this feeling in the dugout like last night when the Cubs, Imanaga is throwing a gem, that it's only a matter of time before we score runs. So that helps us relax. Again, guys, a gracious interview, very humble. And I know that feeling to take the mound and know you have a great team behind you.
Well, this offense has, we've talked about it a lot. It has been like 2023, like Birdie said. It'll be late in the game. It looked like that would miss, but thankfully a strike. And you just wait. All right, well, team's down 1-2. Yeah, they're going to put up a 4 or 5 spot, and then boom, all of a sudden they do.
Yeah, there's a comfort in that. I think both as a starting pitcher when you're out there and feeling like you don't have to dominate, because the opposite could be true. When your offense is really struggling, it puts added pressure on your pitching staff, like they can't make a mistake. Same for the defense.
Well, I don't think it's any surprise that Cubs, Braves, two of the best records in baseball, both elite defenses. Cubs may be the best in baseball, but you think about it, they're not giving extra outs. And there's so many times you turn the TV on, 2-3 errors a game. And in this league, with the amount of talent here, you don't recover from that.
And the Braves have done it in every phase.
And guys, I know the feeling when you have a bad defense behind you, sometime as a pitcher, you try to strike guys out. And I wasn't a strikeout pitcher, which means you start to overthrow.
What were your bad defenses, Birdie? Just curious.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to call anybody out, but you know who you are.
Let's throw some folks on there.
Yeah, why not?
You know this too, guys. It's hard to be good at everything. So if you have a great hitter who struggles defensively, he's going to be in the lineup somewhere.
Yeah.
So like, how do I keep it away from this guy? Yeah. But the Braves kind of do it all.
Those holes really don't seem to exist at all in this lineup and in the field.
And Sale, 3 straight strikeouts. He got Suzuki and Shaw in the first. Now Bush to start the second.
Is that good slider again, and even tougher left on left.
I mean, that probably looks like it's going to hit the bottom of the zone and then
it's nowhere close.
See you later. Beautiful images tonight here in Atlanta.
Well, that was a nice thing for Walt last night with knowing Sale's going today, right? You're in a 1-1 ball game. You keep going to those high leverage guys, knowing we're going to do everything we can to win this game, to just let Chris Sale go nuts today.
It was a master class, I thought, yesterday, the way that Walt ran the bullpen. Now, of course, the guys have to answer the bell and get the job done, but it was perfect last night.
And then leading the night before, too, though, when you let Fuentes go back out there for the 7th and you save Suarez. So now if you don't want to pitch Iglesias tonight, right, you have Suarez in the 9th inning.
Yeah. So you basically have your dueling closers with Suarez and Iglesias, and then this unbelievable weapon in Fuentes that you use every few days for a multi-inning spot. And he's high leverage. You know, he could slide in with his kind of stuff and be a closer.
Yeah.
But he's doing it multi-inning.
I'm saying a lot of times, managers, you're up 5-2, right? Now we're in the 7th inning. We're going our 7th guy, 8th guy. And I thought Walt did a great job Tuesday night setting that up.
And Sale is in a zone of 4 straight strikeouts for the lefty.
And this one is so hard to lay off. As a hitter, he's pushing that ball. It's kind of just riding up, and you can't get on top of that pitch.
No. And he takes a little off at 95 miles an hour. He's no chance.
Already 9 swing and misses for these Cubs hitters. And now here's Miguel Amaya. Amaya's been battling some low back spasms, so they've been trying to keep him out of the lineup. He feels better tonight, so they put him in there at catcher, and he's batting 8th. Amaya shoots it to right, and that disrupts Sale for the moment. A 2-out single. Let's take a look at our Comcast business feature here tonight, talking about Chris Sale and his defense of the mound here at home. .75 ERA and a 4-0 record.
It's been dominance here, and you go back to even when he first joined this ball club, he has been extremely good here at Truist.
When he takes the ball here at home, the Braves are 23-5 since putting on that uniform. I would say that's a lot of success.
Do you think the Red Sox throw up every time he throws?
They're throwing up for a lot of reasons right now, but yeah.
Well, they'll be here starting tomorrow for a 3-game set.
This does not seem like a particularly good matchup for Pete Crow Armstrong, which is, of course, why he is batting ninth. Though he's faced Chris Sale, been 4 plate appearances, a couple of punch outs, a ground out, and Chris Sale hit him once back in 2024. But knowing the chase that he has against that slider.
Soft little looper, and Kim cannot get there. Threw him a 2-seamer, did Sale, and PCA is able to reach 2 on 2 out.
He threw him one to start the at bat, and he painted it down and away. This one, though, up and in, not a bad pitch at all, and not great contact, but PCA gets the bat to it.
Get 98 up and in. You take your chances every time. This one just happened to find the spot. Second time tonight here already in the second inning.
So 2 singles in the first for the Cubs, and now a pair of singles here in the second. Back to the top of the order, the second baseman Horner. Out towards foul territory. Olsen back, and he reaches up but can't make the catch. Almost got there, but the inning continues.
Oh, it's weird coming off the bat. I think it definitely had to have some spin. Usually Matt is very solid on those plays. I know it's not easy, don't get me wrong, but
it looked like it came down kind of fast. I'm with you. Some spin, maybe taking it back toward
inside
their territory.
Yeah.
He's been the best I ever seen, watching him now for 3 years and how he handles those fly balls.
A new life for Horner. 1-1 pitch from Sale. This one is playable. Long run for Yastrzemski. He gets there, and the Cubs in this 4-game skid are now 1 for 28 with runners in scoring position. As we go to the bottom of the second, let's take a look at our Alpha Insurance best coverage feature. So this is comparing the Cubs and the Braves over the last 4 days and trending in opposite directions.
I love it. We're the best. They're the worst. Seems pretty simple to me in how it's going right now, at least since May 9th.
The Cubs have had a funny little run, haven't they? They got off to a bad start. Then they won those 10 in a row, lost 3 in a row, and then they get hot again and win 10. It's just been a weird season.
And now on the heels of that second 10-game win streak, they've lost these 4 games.
Yeah. It's like when the offense for them has gone dormant, it has gone dormant.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's been a good one, you kind of look at, again, when you're talking about the streakiness, now you got some nice win totals here for Craig Counsell, so that helps a little bit. But it's kind of odd to see.
I was saying first time since 1955.
Multiple 10-game win streaks.
Brooklyn Dodgers. Yeah.
Which was a big year for them.
They went on to win it all.
They won that World Series that year. Al Kaline won a batting title at the age of 20.
Wow.
That's all I got in 1955.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were ready.
Good Lord.
That's it. That's
Harris was ready for that 4-seamer. There's the Braves' first hit.
Being up on some 1955 knowledge
Yeah,
today.
I played Detroit for a long time, so you heard a lot about Al Kaline and all the amazing feats that he had. But I just spent all of my knowledge of 1955 all in one shot. That's all I got for you.
Well, guys, that's what Michael's done so well this year. Is last year we saw a lot of, to me, out in front, rollover like that. Looking at the guys in front of you with Olsen, realizing he's trying to kind of paint away.
And now here is Dubon to right, pretty deep. Shaw twisting around and making the catch. But Dubon had the homer in the 8th last night. He hasn't been cheated too much at the plate this year.
Now, good looking swing there, and then immediately sharing some information as well, like any good teammate would right now with Dom Smith, who is sitting on deck. Keep an eye too with Michael over at first base for Ben Brown. He's never had a caught stealing in his brief career. It's a perfect 18 for 18 for potential base stealers.
And right on cue.
We don't get picked off.
And there's been 10 of those this year, most in the majors for the Braves.
Is that a new color for Mike?
A little lavender action. He's got every color in the rainbow in that clubhouse.
It is lavender. I like purple.
Never know what you're going to see from Money Mike. Had his bobblehead night last night. He's on first base here with 1 out, and that comes in and hits Riley hard at 97.
You're just hoping that got mostly
it
on the
sounded
pad.
like it did get the pad.
Ooh.
Let's take a look. Yep.
How much of that do you actually feel? I mean, obviously you still feel it a little bit.
Yeah, he's a big strong boy from Mississippi. He'll be all right.
It was 2 years ago.
Dirt on it.
It was 2 years ago playing the Angels out west. He got hit on the hand and missed the final 6 weeks of the season.
Getting hit on the hand is a lot worse than getting hit on the tricep with the pad.
And that's that new two-seam fastball that he has coming in at 97. So not only is it firm, but it's running in. So even if you're thinking about trying to get in the way, it's almost impossible to avoid contact with it.
So 2 on for the Braves here. That two-seamer for Brown, by the way, said he picked it up from Clay Holmes. A lot of people say go talk to Clay Holmes, 2-time All-Star with the Yanks, now with the Mets. And so they trained together this offseason in Nashville, and that's really where Ben Brown honed that pitch.
It's a good guy to talk to about it. Clay Holmes has got a nasty one.
But you will rarely see that two-seamer to a lefty, mostly all to the right-handed hitters, as the guys were talking about.
Yeah, it's really interesting. He's essentially 2 different types of pitchers, whether it's a righty or lefty, in the way that he uses the fastball. Now,
yep.
Yeah, he's going to challenge.
Dom's going to challenge. He's going to win this one.
Yeah.
The pitch was called a strike. The batter's challenging.
I mentioned for Job Lipka, not the greatest of umpires this year. Oh, excuse me.
Atlanta has 2 remaining.
Let me correct that. Has been one of the better umpires this year, but that was a bad miss.
Yeah, he got a little carried away there.
Michael says no, that was a ball. Well, to lefties, he's been calling it pretty wide out there.
Yeah, he has. So Drake would have won an overturn to start the game.
Dom Smith, 4 hits in game 1 of this series, tying a career high for him. He's done it 3 times in his big league career where he's had a 4-hit game. All of them were singles. Back in the lineup tonight. And striking out on that curve from Brown.
That's the pitch you got to worry about, right? His curveball is pretty nasty.
It's got really good depth to it, as you can see. Just keeps tumbling down, and Dom knew it too. It's one of those that's tough. You recognize it. You can tell Dom Smith recognized that pitch. It just doesn't get there. Drops off.
So it registers as a knuckle curve. It always has with him. Is it really that much different than your everyday 12-6 curve? Well, we might have to put a pin in that conversation.
No.
There's the answer. Brought to you by Jeff Francoeur. No score after 2. Pretty special night. The FIFA World Cup original trophy was here at the Plaza Green and Monument Garden. It's still out there in Monument Garden until the 7th inning tonight. So fans an opportunity to pose with that trophy here this evening. That's so cool. In June and July, the World Cup is obviously going to be all over the US of A, but it'll be right here in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium as well.
That's the smallest trophy in sports?
God, it might be, but can we get to the knockout round this year? That's all I want.
You just want to skip the pool play?
No, I just want us to get through pool
play. Oh, you're talking about the United
point.
States. I thought you meant just in general.
No.
You're like, let's skip to the good stuff.
I thought you were an American, too. The last time.
I was born here, yes.
We got the semifinals here.
That's awesome. It's going to be a really cool thing to have that event here in Atlanta. And with the way the Braves are going, this city should be popping this summer.
That's why they're shutting freeways down on 285.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, a whole freeway.
It's a great time to start some construction, isn't it?
That's when you need CJ's Tesla, and you just press a button that says drive me here.
Or Frenchie's helicopter would really come into play right
now.
Air Frenchie.
You're going to get there. Maybe not on time, but you're going to get there. And you're going to have fun along the way.
Shut down 12 lanes. That seems like a great idea.
One down here for Ian Happ. .402nd career game tonight for the 37-year-old Chris Sale. 321st start. Began briefly as a reliever back at his White Sox days. Sharply to Kim. 2 to the left side of the infield to start the 3rd. A message from Zaxby's.
How giant are Zaxby's giant wraps?
So giant, they need their own zip code.
Who's got the sauce?
I remember facing Chris Sale when he first came up as a reliever. I was with the Royals, and it was a nightmare, dude. He's thrown like 100, 101, and then I remember we heard the announcement they were moving him to a starter, and we're like, oh, crap.
You mean we got to face him multiple times?
Yeah, we were thinking just once in a series, you know, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, getting him for 4 ABs.
It's amazing how little time he spent in the minor leagues after getting drafted. In 2010, right, saw just a little bit, 4 games in A-ball, 7 in AAA, and he was a big leaguer after that the rest of the way.
And he has been so incredible in a Braves uniform, and ho-hum for Sale, 3 scoreless so far.
If you've just tuned in, you've missed nothing. No score. Bottom 3, Ben Brown on the hill for our Toyota Trends. He has a great knuckle curve. Here it is. You see the knuckle spike right here. The way I was taught was pretend the baseball is an apple and you are going to push that index finger through the apple. Now, when you go to rotate it, you're going to slide it, slightly turn it here, and you're going to try to hit the top of that knuckle to the clouds when you throw it. When you do that, you get that spike facing up. You get that good 12-6 hammer going straight down. Why the knuckle? Because you can put more pressure in one spot instead of distributing it through the whole baseball. So we're going to go right here, face it to the sky. You young pitchers out there, try it sometime, guys.
Not too young, Birdie.
That's
too
right.
Young. We don't need
Make
Tommy
sure you're
John
shaving.
in a 10U tournament.
That's right. Make sure you're shaving.
So there's so many different variations to that grip. I actually threw a knuckle curveball throughout my career. Think about how Craig Kimbrell held his breaking ball right, the finger up. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it. Birdie was kind of right on the middle of the baseball with his finger. Some guys will go into the seam. I used to grow my fingernail a little bit longer, my index finger, and dig in between the seams. And I probably should have a basically start talking about this.
Here,
I gave the one I had away.
There you go.
So I used to sit there and let my thumbnail grow, and I would dig in there, separate a little bit, then this fingernail in there to dig even more. To Birdie's point, that pressure that you're trying to put across from your finger right through the middle of the baseball, it changed my career. I had a really below average curveball, standard little rinky-dink high school curveball, and even early in college. And then once I went to this, it changed everything for me.
I had to take back what I said a couple innings
I was going to
ago.
say, I was asking you guys about the difference between.
Well, yes, the hitter.
But as a hitter, you don't notice much of a difference.
No, I mean, I think that maybe it spins a little bit tighter. A curveball's a curveball. There are a couple of guys. Well, you'll see that finger up, and it's not even called a knuckle curveball by the algorithm. So I think the terminology for me, leave them all as curveballs. It's just more about the grip. I know you asked the hitter question there, and I answered it, but.
Yes, with a walk here to start the bottom of the third.
You could rake back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Not true.
CJ, are you confessing to cheating on air right
no,
now?
And I'll tell you
Defacing the baseball?
No. So and I would have managers call me out on it once in a while because they'd see me digging in and trying to separate the laces, and they'd have umpires check the ball.
Birdie, I think you've cheated.
You're not going to see anything. You're not going to see anything on the ball. Now, the other times with the sandpaper, yes, that was cheating. You're not allowed to do that. But this move, no, this was legal. You could do that.
Great stuff. I love it. I like how you said there's different variations and you got to find the one that's right for you. Mike Mussina, Cliff Lee, some of the best from each side of the plate with that knuckle curve.
That's a good call on Moose. He had a great one.
There's that pitch, but Brown misses to Drake Baldwin.
But we were talking yesterday about just falling out of baseball shape and how quickly it happens, especially with the arm. As I was showing that to you guys, like my finger tendon now hurts. Like I can't do that anymore. You do that for almost 20 years or actually longer than that. Throw the college years in there and no longer.
There you go, boys. That's spring training right there. Dirt ball reads.
And Yaz picked
it
up.
Back of the field. He went right when that thing hit the dirt. Perfect timing.
See if the Braves can break that goose egg here in the third. Nobody out. Yaz in scoring position. Baldwin had a homer, an impressive one last night to right center, his 11th of the season.
And he's trying to help Birdie out again. Birdie to back him up. Wasn't talking about little kids dropping knuckle curve at home.
So you saw them talking. I forgot they probably were in college together for a year, right? Dansby and Yaz at Vanderbilt, because Yaz was a 13.
Toward the corner, Baldwin is a little bit ahead of it.
Dansby was 15 as far as their draft years go,
over
so they might have had a year together.
Let's go to the tape.
That's what Dansby probably told him. That's Tim Corbin dirtball read right there.
I think 2013 they may have been teammates in college. Yeah.
Oh.
Dansby's freshman year was Yaz's draft year.
Yes.
Good call.
That's right, because Yaz, as I'm looking at this, reminded he was drafted after his junior year in 2012. He decided to come back and played his senior year, and then was taken by the Orioles in the 14th round after his senior year at Vandy.
You think Antoine Richardson wants to get in that conversation with him? He's a Vandy guy as well. Too much brains around here.
And smart kids. Dansby was there when they won the first ever College World Series in 2014, and he was the most outstanding player in the College World Series that year.
You think those guys look down on Craig Counsell and his Notre Dame education?
I think those are on even footing. Counsell was in the College World Series with Notre Dame.
Under his manager, Pat Murphy.
Pat Murphy, that's right. And of course, Murphy taking over for him in Milwaukee and doing a fantastic job there with his tenure with the Brewers. Check down.
Oh, wow.
Boy, Sean Barber's been aggressive down there.
He has. He came out swinging on that call, too.
Didn't look that great from there. How about here? Nah.
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
No. And if we get to that, you know, they just started about a week or so ago where they had the automated minor leagues. That wouldn't even been close. They use essentially the foul line. You got to get all the way to. You would have loved it all the way to the foul line.
It helped me out a lot. I probably would have hit 340.
By the way, that umpire Sean Barber down there who worked the plate last night, He's got an incredible story about how he got into umpiring. His sophomore year in college, he was working at a pet store. He put his hand in the eel cage or tank, got bit to the bone, required 27 stitches. So he's going to school. He's got 27 stitches in his hand. He cannot write or type for a while, so he steps away from school, says, what am I going to do? He ends up going to the Harry Wendelstedt umpiring school, finished near the top of his class, and all because he got bit by an eel. Now all these years later, he's a major league umpire.
That is a great story.
Ozzie to left, Happ over to the line, but it's foul.
But also, don't stick your hand in the fish tank.
Yeah, don't.
Especially with eels.
Eels, I know. He was trying to clean it. He was just working as a sophomore in college at the pet store. Made a mistake. But it led him here today.
Man.
So everything happens for a reason, kids.
That's why he was so quick on that punch.
Well, kind of a Happy Gilmore story there for him. I wonder if he's got that eel's head somewhere.
Yeah, Chubbs, may he rest in peace. I think that foul ball may have hit somebody. I just hope everybody's okay over there. 1-2 here to Ozzie. Bouncing foul. Ozzie grounded to the first baseman Michael Busch in the first. It was a great play by the first baseman. Took a hit away from Ozzie. He hits it to the right side again. This time it's Horner. So you got 2 down and a runner at third. Hey fans, don't miss the Kids City Connect Socks giveaway Sunday, May 24th. First 3,000 kids in will get those beauties. Exact same style and brand that the players wear. There's no difference. So go to Braves.com/promos to get the tickets and bring the kids to the park.
They're great too. They got the little stitch right there. You can see. They're good.
They're comfy.
Yeah, CJ has worn them on air. Captain Morgan style.
That's right.
I got a pair for my little guy.
Kind of like Birdie yesterday when he was showing off his shoes. A little more leg than we want to see,
Yeah.
but they are nice shoes.
It's a lot of heat. It was another pitch that was outside off to a left-hander here. But John Lipka's given that call. So Brown tried to go back out there.
It's smart, right?
Yeah. Take advantage of it. I mean, there was a time, and it's changed a little bit now with ABS, but you wanted to know an umpire's tendencies, and then you're going to try to exploit those as a pitcher.
Potential first run 90 feet away. 2 ball 1 strike count here to Matt Olson.
Probably not intentional there. It almost looked like a little cutter, but it was a changeup that he got around. And when you do that, you're better off missing as badly as he did, right? He started trying to throw that changeup away. You miss middle, and you get a new baseball.
That one's in the chop house.
Matt Olson, 37 runs driven in. If he drives in Yastrzemski, he will be tied with Liam Hicks of the Marlins for the most RBI in Major League Baseball.
Who saw that one coming? Liam Hicks is having a really nice year. We're going to see the Marlins next week.
They have 4 games set down at the tank.
Fighting fish.
Don't put your hand in there. There's an eel. It'll get you. Payoff pitch. Matt Olson went fishing. Throw down to first, and they will get him. Yaz stranded at third. We are on our way to the 4th. Who's got the sauce? Well, Sale in his reliever days. Frenchie. Oh, took him deep to right center.
Yeah, thank God they showed that, not the rest of the ABs.
Look how young Chris Sale looks right there.
I was being serious there, acting like I'd done him before, but inside I was like, holy crap, I just got him. Oppo taco, too.
Yeah, right center. Impressive. Reach for it.
I was trying to pull it.
Well, both you guys a few years under your belt since then. You look great, though, French.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
So do you, Chris Sale. And Sale tonight, 3 scoreless so far, 4 punch outs, and now he faces Shaw, Bush, and Swanson here in the 4th inning.
I was talking to Walt about Sale the other day, and he said it's one of those things, too, that's so tough because the expectations for him every time you go out, right? People just expect 6, 7 innings of no runs. Like the bar is so high.
But yet, seemingly every time out there, he continues to perform. Yeah. I mean, last 4 starts, a 1.36 ERA. Riley, it's foul. And it's a good thing it's foul because Shaw would have beat that out.
So it's 8 starts for Chris Sale this year. 7 of them have been quality starts where he's got at least 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less, and really most of them been just 1 earned run or less.
Dude, sorry, you got me all banged up with this Barber and the eel stuff. Did you say which hand it was?
I don't know which hand it was.
Because he just, with the left hand, dropped a foul ball. You see most guys do it with their right, and I just wonder if he had some eel effects.
Nice. Eel effects.
Boy, didn't know you had that in your bag.
He did. He dropped a left hand foul ball, so I wonder if it's still got him locked up.
Shaw reaches for it, and Kim will back up to take it. I feel bad for Sean Barber. I wasn't trying to air his dirty laundry. I was trying to tell a heartwarming story about how he got into umpiring.
It's a great story of perseverance for sure.
He had done umpiring as a teen, and then that kind of pushed him in that direction after he couldn't do his schoolwork because of the 27 stitches.
From now on for BG, when he goes to do his umpire research, he's going to look at that story and be like, is Frenchie working tonight? If I could share that one. I'm not sure where he might take it.
Just locked in on him now.
It is fascinating to hear a lot of these guys and how they got into it. Different stories, not all, but most of them, as you read about them, former baseball players. They weren't as good as you guys were. They realized they weren't going to get to the minors or the major league level, and eventually they said, I want to be around the game. I'm going to try to be an umpire. I do not envy them because they're never the hero. They're always the ones that are getting yelled at. If they do good, that's your job. If you don't, you're going to get an earful.
Like I said, I think this ABS challenge system, if anything, I know there's been people with the umpires get mad. I think it's made them look better at times.
Well, it's going to get more calls, right? It kind of shows us how hard this job is, right? Some of those just borderline, barely millimeter differences, whether it's going to be a ball or a strike, and how close they are in getting those.
Solid line drive for Michael Bush to left. 1-out single. Let's get a word in here from Delta.
From Braves country to the world. Delta, official airline of the Atlanta Braves.
Chris Sale still does not have a 3-ball count. He's been pretty efficient. 53 pitches, just 8 pitches in a 1-2-3 third. Got 1-on-1 out here in the 4th, facing Dansby Swanson.
I think for Sale too, sometimes it's tough because when you pound the zone like he does, a lot of hitters don't want to get to 2 strikes. You know, with that back foot slider. So they're hunting that heater early. So a lot of times for Sale, when he throws that heater early, it's got to be well located though.
And if he feels like the kind of guy, right, you want to get to him early. You don't want to get to 2 strikes. That's when things get really problematic. I was a little bit surprised to see looking last night. The 0-0 batting average against him is only 239. The league average is like 340, somewhere in that range, right? It's going to be the highest count batting average. But again, just because you want to try to get to him early doesn't mean you are going to get to him early.
Swinging 2-0, Dansby gets underneath this, out to Harris.
Honestly, what it shows you too, CJ, is how many quality first pitches he makes to have that batting average be that.
It's so weird that that just happened too, because as I was looking at by count yesterday, I don't do this every time, but I happened to be looking at it yesterday. I just noticed that 2-0 count where Dansby just was, hitters were 1 for 1 against him. No other balls put in play in a 2-0 count except the home run he let up earlier this year, and then that one right there from Dansby.
For Sale?
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Did you figure 2-0? I'm swinging no matter what.
Also shows hasn't. I mean, maybe you have this number, CJ. I don't think he's had a ton of 2-0 counts.
Yeah, that's probably why there's only the 1 at bat. You know, quite honestly, far and away the count that had the least amount of at bats. Where that's where it ends at that point. You know what, BG? I think I can figure that out. Give me a second.
Maybe a couple 4-pitch walks mixed in there. It's like we give a dog a bone.
Yeah.
Just throwing a tennis ball.
Throw that tennis ball.
Throw the tennis ball. I'll be back in a little bit.
Now one of these 3 computers is going to work.
Catcher Miguel Amaya singled in the second.
You know, he singled in that second, and the ball was not hit hard to Yaz in right field, but talked about him having back spasms. He was slow down to first. Like if he does that again, if Yaz is paying attention, the old 9-3 piece.
We haven't put that in the scorebook this year. Well, Maya also had a lot of injury issues last year. He only played 28 games, had an oblique strain, and then he had a left ankle sprain that ended his season. So it's been a rough go over the last 15 months for Miguel Amaya. Two from Sale. He strikes him out. 96, foul tip into the mitt of Baldwin. Now, what's Sales doing here?
We lost track of the outs, or what happened?
Yep.
That's the third. Yep, he did. But he gets the strikeout of Amaya. That's 3, Chris. Go to the dugout. Take a breather. Well, Chris Sale was confused, but he did get 3 outs, and now we're on to the bottom of the 4th here in a scoreless game. Let's see this again, fellas.
Confused is an understatement. Yeah, Drake Baldwin too. Watch Drake getting ready to go off, and then he's like,
he panicked about the runner.
Look, and he throws.
He's like, get him, tag him. Let's get a 4th out. Old age is undefeated.
And then when you flip your cap to the side like he did, that's the Braves sign. So that's my fault. That's the error.
Yeah.
You gotta. He owned it.
I mean, as serious as anybody, right? When it's game time for Chris Sale, and he has that kind of different
that
gear.
moment right there. I gotta.
Yeah. That's about as much as he's going to let off the gas in the middle of a game.
Sale now 5 strikeouts through the first 4. They brought us ice cream sandwiches up here.
So apparently it's related to something.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about the May and the A. And we're going to crush these ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah.
That's
so
happening.
There's 10 of them here.
Uh-oh.
So that's 3 each, and then we can fight over the last one.
We'll meet in the middle on the 10th. Harris
I don't put that kind of stuff in my body, guys.
Yeah. So right here it is. So May and the A, unbeatable deals. You can get $15 tickets, $3 Miller High Lights, and you wash that ice cream sandwich down with that Miller High Life.
So here's the difference between Chef and whoever brought us this for the promo is that Chef brought us beer yesterday, or 2 days ago, right? Because they had old style while the Cubs were in town, 3 days only. Now, I don't see any Miller.
Where are the High Lives?
Yeah, I mean, that was also on there at $3 a pop.
Oh, so good when it hits your lips.
I don't eat that stuff, guys.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah. You down 37 cookies pregame. Right here in the back of the booth. These are so good.
I'll try it. I've never had one.
Oh, yeah. What are these? Never seen them before. Ice cream sandwich.
It's my son's favorite. He has like 2 a night.
It's a good one.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, exactly right.
Doobie hit it well in the second, but lined out to right to Shaw. And the curveball gets him from Brown. Back-to-back strikeouts. It's 3 straight strikeouts for Brown, back to the 3rd.
And it's been a curveball on all 3 of them, and going outside of the strike zone like he did to Matt Olson, Michael Harris, and now here to Bond. Well, this game has the same feeling as yesterday's game, right? Where it's well pitched, it's close, it's 2 good teams. Who's going to be the first one to break through?
Well, if Brown is trying to work his way back into the starting rotation, he's putting on a good show tonight. Now, they said that they would cap him near 60 pitches. He's at 63. We'll see how much longer Craig Counsell lets him go.
At first start, which was his last game against the Texas Rangers, it was 46 pitches. It took him 46 to get through 4. So you can see here it's been a little bit more work, but the difference also are the strikeouts. What is it? 7 of those so far tonight. He only had 3 against the Texas Rangers.
They have had Hobie Milner up in the pen, but right now Brown is in control. And we've got a scoreless game after 4 on a gorgeous Thursday night at Truist Park.
Welcome back, everybody. How about our Home Depot working on a win? This is Braves early work PFPs. Why? Because as a pitcher, sometimes you pick one up and you throw it down in the right field corner like I do, and then everybody the next day has to come out for early work and work on PFPs, pitchers fielding practice. Everybody's mad at you because they got to show up early because you uncorked the ball in the corner. So when I got here early and I walked over to Braves fielding coach Tony Manzolino, I said, who messed up? He said, nobody. He said, Paul, we're not going to be reactive. We're going to start working on stuff before somebody makes a mistake. And I thought to myself, that is brilliant. Guys.
Well, and Tony Manzolino is awesome. And Walt Weiss was singing his praises yesterday about how he's kind of been an unsung hero with the work that he's done. Remember last year he was the interim manager in Baltimore after they let go of Brandon Hyde. Only time he's been a manager, now a first-time bench coach, but he is very well respected. And I know Walt loves having him right there on his right shoulder.
Got to be proactive, right? Stay ahead of the game. You don't want to be reactive, as Bertie was kind of talking about maybe the way things used to be done. You mess up a play, oh yeah, we need to kind of address that, and where are people supposed to be? Make sure we got your footwork right for these pitchers and everybody else. But no, you have a nice steady in-season routine, so you don't have to worry about those mistakes.
You need to keep an eye on it to see if it's always on a Chris Sale start, though. You know.
CJ, it's kind of like a kicker missing a field goal. Everybody's got to run, right?
Yeah, or at the end of basketball practice.
Yeah.
Those sprints, you're lining up and shooting your free throws.
Ozzie ranging to his right, off balance, perfect throw to get Pete Crow Armstrong.
So, Bertie, do you have a favorite of your 24 errors you made in your career?
Oh, man. I think one of my worst errors was my rookie season when I was pitching against Deion Sanders, San Fran, and I jammed him. And I went over and I picked it up to throw the ball to first, and he was 5 feet past the bag. So I thought I had a chance to get the guy running from first to second. So the athleticism, guys, was off the charts. So in midair, I changed my mind and I fire one over second. And Jeff Kent was nowhere to be found. And in New York, it went out to the left center field wall.
Nice.
And, you know, they could have started playing circus music. But they didn't.
Yakety sax.
And this is kind of cool. That was my first major league win, I think. Yeah. So our team came back later, and it all worked out in the end. I went from feeling like a donkey to being the winner.
See, it all worked out in the end, Bertie.
I think. I'm getting old, though, Brandon.
No, we trust you.
Don't check it.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story.
That's right.
By the way, Chef Shako. Oh, no.
Ask and you shall receive, and look at you guys.
Now we need napkins.
Oh, boy.
You wanted a Miller High Life to go along with your ice cream sandwich. They do pair nicely. It is the champagne
Maybe
beers.
Chef played a dirty trick on me here.
I
didn't open my. That's when he tapped on my shoulder and gave me this one, like, don't open it. He clearly didn't give it to you two.
Yeah.
You're like Frank the Tank up here.
I know.
Ooh. Now is Nico Hoerner going to challenge that? No. Braves will take it. 3-2.
That was nice synchronized opening though you guys had.
Yeah. Champagne of beers.
Man. Slice of Americana here at Truist Park tonight. Ice cream sandwiches and Miller High Life.
So I don't think, well, I take that back. I was going to say I don't think we've had any alcohol in the booth since I've been here. But he brought up, what was it, 2 years ago when he brought up the drinks that
Yes.
it was kind of showcasing what we had here. But this has got to be a record where there's been beer opened in the booth twice in a single series.
Just needed a single sip. Is this fair? It is just foul. That was close, but James Hoy, the crew chief, was looking right down that line.
Man, you should have been here when Chipper did the game with us that night, because there was some Crown that was consumed in here.
We heard.
I'm going to save mine for the bottom of the inning. I know you're all familiar with a rally beer.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, my.
That is as close as you can get. Nice play out there, too.
He was ready.
Oh, and look at him. Oh,
double fist pump. Yes. And they give it to the kiddo. That's awesome. Another payoff pitch here from Sale. And another foul ball for Nico Hoerner. Braves winning 5-2 on Tuesday, 4-1 yesterday, but it was 1-1 yesterday until the 8th, and right now scoreless in the 5th here in Game 3 of the series. They tried to drop the slider in there. Hoerner wasn't biting. That is the first walk tonight for Sale.
I've wondered a little bit about, with Alex Bregman coming up, the history between Chris Sale and Alex Bregman, and doing a little digging today, and I kind of forgot about this. It was 2017 in the postseason when Chris Sale was a member of the Boston Red Sox in the division series. He made a start in Houston, his worst postseason start of his career, gave up 7 runs, 3 homers. Now this is the overall numbers from the series, but the start that he had in Houston, 2 of those were to Alex Bregman. It's right in the middle of the cheating scandal. He gave up 3 homers in a game in then Minute Maid Park. I've always wondered. I mean, it's been 9 years. It's been a long time. At the same time,
makes you wonder.
You had your worst playoff start at a time that we know that they were cheating.
Well, now it's the Chris Sale revenge tour here. He's got Bregman 0-2. We were talking about it yesterday, but over 100 playoff games for Bregman during that run with the Astros and then last year with the Red Sox. So he has seen a lot of postseason baseball.
A lot of pitches. He knew what was coming, huh, Frenchie? Maybe not a lot.
Let's see if Sale can get him here, put him away. Yes. Back foot slider, 6 strikeouts for Chris Sale.
It's a nice job. 3rd time through against a hitter as good as Alex Bregman.
He doesn't chase too often, and again, you get down in the count. That's as good of a back foot slider as you're going to do right there. Started on the outside, and it just continues to come all the way across that plate.
78th pitch of the night here for Sale as he faces Ian Happ. Ian Happ 1 for 2. He is the longest tenured Chicago Cub. 10th season of Bigs, all with the Cubbies. Oh, Sale timed it perfectly. And the tag is applied on Hoerner to end the top of the 5th.
I think the point tells you everything you have to know, and that came from the bench. As Chris Sale was giving a little bit of credit there to Drake Baldwin, and perfectly executed for the pickoff.
Welcome back to Truist Park. When I say picture perfect, I mean it is picture perfect here in Atlanta. It has been for the entire series. Got a new pitcher So Brown mentioned he was on a pitch count. He's done. They bring in Milner with Dom Smith at the plate.
In these situations that we've seen from Walt Weiss, when you get a tough lefty like this where he's leaving Dom Smith in, why? Because he's also thinking about later in the game potentially and what a matchup could look like. So you're only in the 5th inning, and he wants to make sure that he still has Dom Smith's bat available, even though this isn't a great matchup for him later in this game.
Yeah, if this was a 7th inning, totally different scenario, but knowing their leverage relievers and who they want, he needs Dom later in the game.
He's got that low arm angle, second lowest among lefties, only to Tim Hill of the Yankees. It's even lower than Chris Sale and Aaron Bummer.
Well, when you have fastball that sits right at 87 miles an hour, you're going to have to change your angle. You're not going to be able to do it traditionally. So he throws that 2-seamer from there with a sweeper and a changeup.
Dom out to center. Pete Crow Armstrong back. And just in front of the wall, he's got it. Atlanta Braves baseball tonight, as always, is brought to you by our good friends at Truist. 35,000 tonight here at Truist Park. Great crowds for the entire series, and we expect more of the same with the Red Sox in town tomorrow through Sunday. Ha-Seong Kim, home run distance, but foul. See how that relationship makes it through the rest of the series. Yeah. Grounder to second. Horner bobbles, recovers.
A lot like last night's game right now. Just
who's going to come through, right? I mean, that Horner wasn't an error. We all thought it was an error. That was kind of the moment that we saw in last night's ball game. But it's been so amazing with this team. As we get in these closer games, it just feels like the Braves have been the team that has been doing it every time.
Pitcher's called a ball. Catcher's challenging.
Except for maybe that one Seattle game. There was one in there. Looked like they were going to come back and win. They didn't.
That was the biggest
Chicago has 2 remaining.
From John Lipka. That one was definitely in there. Yeah, you get to this point in the game, whether it's tied, like we said earlier, the Braves are down by a run or two. You're like, okay. Eventually, this offense will bust through. Let's take a look at our what a burger, what a play. How about Mike Yastrzemski? So last 3 at bats, 4 RBI. First 38 games, 6. Talk about increased production.
Yeah, it's been a good sign. We knew it was coming sooner or later, and kind of one of the storylines here with the Braves. As good as the season has been, we knew Austin Riley was going to get going. He has been. We know Mike Yastrzemski was going to get going, and it looks like he is now.
But that's where I love two guys knowing their place, knowing their value, knowing their role, right? Tuesday night, RBI single, then the 2-run bomb, and then you know what happens? Oh, you're pinch hit for. Then he comes up last night, gets the pinch hit and the huge hit.
And that one goes foul. And he hasn't been retired in the series because he walked in the 3rd today.
But I'm just saying, like, I think for a player, right, like Walt has been consistent, so you know what your job is, right? Like you talked about, CJ, this is still early in the game, so I'm not going to do it here in the 5th inning. But if this was a 7th or 8th inning right here, you'd be going to a matchup.
Yep. And they've already burned one of their lefties, right? That's the other part of it. So you just have one left-handed reliever that's down there in that bullpen. And the way that this lineup is set up probably means you're going to burn that guy in the middle with Matt Olson and Michael Harris.
Yeah, cold strike on the outside corner. Continuing to dominate here.
A portion of proceeds benefit the Atlanta Braves Foundation. Get your tickets at Braves.com/BravesCountryFest.
Defensive play of the game brought to you by CarShield. It's that pickoff to the top of the 5th.
21st of Chris Sale's career. He's got a couple here now with the Atlanta Braves, but just really good timing. And I think, again, his reaction as he started pointing into the dugout, I think that call probably came from the dugout through Drake Baldwin, and the timing was perfect.
Boy, between the two teams, how good has the pitching been tonight? Combined 14 strikeouts, just 2 walks, 6 hits, but all singles, and obviously no runs scored yet.
Well, not surprisingly for Chris Sale, he's been dominant in these spots. 3rd time through the order this year, just a 191 batting average and also a 191 on base percentage. So you know what that means. No walks 3rd time through the order so far this year. That's incredible.
And we always love when he gets to the end of his outing, see him empty the tank and really amp it up to finish. He's at 81 pitches right now. 96 to the top shelf.
There's one of those. 97.
3-2.
Frenchie's really hoping I get screwed on the old announcer's jinx.
Not at all.
See that smirk.
Back foot sliders, swing and a miss here. Let's see.
Thank you, BG.
3-2. Oh, 96 in there. Six wins for Chris Sale. That is tied with Paul Skeens and Jose Soriano, the Angels, for the most by a starter so far this year. Going to need some help tonight to get to his 7th win of the season. Another payoff. And he walks Ian Happ to start the 6th. While CJ collects himself, here's a quick word from Alpha Insurance.
No matter what life throws your way, we'll be there knocking it out of the park. Getting you back home safe and sound. That's life with Alpha Insurance.
That sound you heard was CJ banging the baseball on the desk up here.
Be really excited after this first pitch double play.
That was a pitch too.
I know it.
Out front, right to Kim.
Seiya Suzuki. Mainly the DH last year when they had Tucker out there in right, but now with Tucker in LA, he's back as the everyday right fielder. Here we go. Kim. They're not going to get any. And instead, the runners are going to be at the corners. They were not going to get 2 either way because of how softly it was hit, but Kim just flipped it way over the head of Ozzie.
Looked like maybe there was an exchange issue here, or perhaps that ball just kind of rattling around his glove. Let's take a peek.
He couldn't have got a clean grip with this. Just airmailed him.
Yep, changed over to a shovel. He's probably going to go underhand, and because it rattled around the way that he did, he decided to change the feed style. Just like we talked about in last night's ball game, very similar, right? Where there's a little bit of a toss from an infielder that gets away from the base he's throwing it to.
You also say that's where you see how he kind of let the ball get to him instead of coming through it right there.
Sale's toughest task tonight. They're at the corners with nobody out.
Now you empty the tank, right? You're thinking maybe 7 innings, but not 88 pitches.
Ground ball to short on his 2nd for 1, and that's all they'll get. And the Cubs get the first run of the ball game. It comes to the top of the 6th.
Thought maybe we're going to have a chance to turn 2 here as well. Not a bad toss, slightly offline, but unfortunately they just ran out of time with Shaw running down the line.
Just the 2nd run for the Cubs in the last 20 innings, as their offense has really been struggling over the last 5 games. Well, the Cubs fans that are here have tried to make some noise the last couple of nights, but they haven't had much to cheer about. They're trying to cheer now while they've got a 1-0 lead here. So a run home this inning without a hit for the Cubbies. And Michael Busch awaiting a 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. There is strikeout number 7 tonight for number 51, Chris Sale.
It's been really interesting to watch here. It's been another great night for Chris Sale. A little bit of defensive support that got away from him, but kind of noticing the intensity level. He's in this like kind of nice groove and vibey spot here tonight where it hasn't been overly animated, and yet we're still seeing 98 miles an hour. We're still seeing nasty sliders. A different kind of temperament from him this evening, but still domination.
And you would think this is it. 95 pitches. Trying to get through the 6th here.
It was 4 straight outings for Chris Sale where he had gotten over the century mark. Not by much. It's been anywhere from 100 to 102.
Well, knowing Chris, if he gets through the next batter here, Swanson, quickly, he might try to lobby for the 7th when he gets into that dugout.
Well, and you know what? Depending how this at bat goes right here, if it's 2 or 3 more pitches, he might let him with 8, 9 coming up, and Pete Crow Armstrong being the lefty, try to get those 2 outs and then turn it over to a righty for the top.
Runner takes off. Almost overslid the bag, but Shaw with a stolen base.
He goes on the slider, average jump. I think he pitched a good pitch to run on, though.
Dansby Swanson awaiting a 1-1 pitch. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Talking about Dansby earlier in his decorated career at Vanderbilt that led him to be taken #1 overall in 2015 by Arizona. One of only 2 college shortstops that have ever been drafted first overall. Him and Bill Allman way back in '74 by the Padres. 2-2.
From the Allman Brothers?
Spelled a little differently.
74.
There is a shortstop for UCLA, Rock Chalowski, who is the projected #1 pick this year, so there could be a third joining those 2 gentlemen.
That was some draft. That was Kyle Tucker going 5th in that one. Both he and Bregman both going to the Astros.
Where do we go here? 3-2. Oh, back foot slider again.
I think it's heater. I think this is empty the
high
tank.
cheese.
97, 98, and even 100 pitches.
Here comes number 1-0-0. 3-2 to Swanson. Right in there. He did freeze him with the slider. 8 strikeouts for Sale as he gets through 6.
Well, all off speed, so what do? Throw him 1 more right here and freeze it. 6 good innings for Chris Sale.
Jason Estevez, and when there's a crisis.
Walt Weiss congratulating Chris Sale on a great start. Unfortunately, the 1 run there in the 6th, the Cubs get it without a hit, so Sale leaves with the Braves down 1-0. But Atlanta does have the top of the order here. Baldwin, first pitch he sees, he grounds out to Horner. So Ozzie will flip around to the right side. See if he can park one in the bullpen and left here.
Taking a little bit of a chance here right now for Craig Counsell, right? You put Ozzie in the best position where he's hitting off the lefty, and I get it. You have Matt Olson and Michael Harris, but could be a runner in scoring position if Ozzie has a good at bat.
Milner, free agent, offseason pickup for the Cubs. Paying him a little under $4 million this year. Reunion with that man. They were together in Milwaukee for 3 years. But Craig Counsell trusting his lefty Hobie Milner here. 2-1 pitch coming to Ozzie. Sharply to short, Dansby. Well, Braves fans have seen that a time or two.
I was going to say Ozzie's sitting there. I watched that for years. Great play by Dansby. And what he does so well, if you watch, great play to get there, but watch how fast he plants and gets up and keeps us low, right? Even though it's a one hop, it's not that tough of a play for Bush over there at first base. And we talked about this Cubs defense, and that's defensimetrically best team in baseball.
The thing that I'm impressed with on that one is that you're dealing with the lip from the dirt to the outfield, right? You're always in the back of your mind. Is that going to catch that lip? Is it going to bounce up?
Yeah.
It's great concentration.
Well, these Cubs pitchers between Brown and Milner, they've retired 11 straight until now. Matt Olson disrupts that little streak with a 2-out single.
Well, that play looms so much larger now after that. That doesn't happen. You got first and third with 1 out. It's a nice swing by Matt.
Just the second Braves hit tonight. The other one came from Michael Harris, and he's at the plate now.
We're back to that same sinker. I kind of wonder, right? First pitch sinker there to Matt Olson for the base hit, or I should say second pitch. And now here for Michael, who has never faced him. Matt Olson had faced Milner quite a few times, 12 plate appearances going into that last one. But Michael has never seen him.
And interesting that Maton is warming up. He's the guy who came in and had the issues in the 8th inning yesterday.
I called down and said, I want a piece of Dubon.
Dubon had the homer off of him, and Doobie's on deck right now. Top of the zone, 2-2.
All fastballs so far here to Michael, left on left. Back of your mind, you got to be thinking about that breaking ball, the sweeper that he's got.
Dansby right there to step on the bag. So a single for the Braves, but nothing else. 1-0 after 6. You might want to start lining up now for July 22nd. The Jermaine Dupri bobblehead giveaway. Go to Braves.com/promos to get your tickets and get here early for all the action. There's going to be a So Def block party in the Battery as well, and a food truck out there. So a lot going on July 22nd. On to the bullpen. So Sale 6 strong, and now for the 7th, Reynaldo Lopez.
Yeah, as we took a look at the Braves bullpen depth tonight, I was going to be a little bit curious to see how they were going to run things. And so Lopez, who was certainly capable of giving you multi-innings, even though this game is really close, is the guy that gets the call. We saw Fuentes yesterday. Saw Dylan Lee in back-to-back games, Iglesias back-to-back.
Dubon takes this off the bat of Amaya.
Funny enough, you know, the Braves have turned into where they have with Perez, with Lopez, with Fuentes, you have some guys now that can give you multiple innings in those middle innings to get, you know, if Lopez gives you 2 here and you're able to score 1 or 2 to take the lead, then you bridge it to Suarez in the 9th.
Yep, that would absolutely be position 8 tonight for Walt Weiss.
Could you see him throwing Iglesias tonight if it's another?
Pitch count wise, yes.
Yeah.
It was 8 pitches yesterday, 13 pitches the day before. So you're talking about 21 total. We've seen Iggy go 3 games in a row before.
Yeah. I just don't know if you do it this early in the season.
Yep. And then, you know, the part of that is Suarez threw the same exact amount of pitches that Iggy did over 2 days. So it was 21 last night. So which one actually is more wear and tear? Which guy is a little bit more tired?
Speaking of the starting rotation, the Braves did announce how they're going to line it up for the Red Sox. It'll be Strider tomorrow, Elder Saturday, and then Grant Holmes is at least scheduled to pitch on Sunday. Now, at times we've seen that spot in the rotation shift last minute, but for right now it's Holmes on Sunday. But pitching has been the story tonight. 7 hits between the 2 teams, all of them singles. And that 1 run without a hit for the Cubs last inning in the 6th. And a walk for Pete Crow Armstrong. So good speed down at first base. Stay tuned for the stretch. Lauren and Peter from the Battery, presented by Georgia Natural Gas.
Well, now some work to do here for Ronaldo with PCA over at first base and trying to keep him close.
He does have a stolen base in the series. He takes off here and he's got another one.
Yeah, there's no way you're getting him right there with that high leg kick.
The high leg kick and then the hop lead, right, that he had over there, and he timed it perfectly. He was still messing and still is messing with his oven mitt. Once in a while you wonder, is the guy going to go while he's trying to fix that thing? But he didn't have an issue with it. Yeah, maybe.
Got to keep an eye on him coming to third base too right here.
Especially first pitch.
He stays put. 0-2 now on Horner.
He's got a healthy lead though.
A lot of guys, I mean, you tell me, it always seems like if you're going to take third, you almost try to do it right away.
Well, and
Especially
that's
against the
why I
lefty,
thought
right?
it was pitch, and you have Riley who's playing fairly deep over there at third.
Tapped foul down that third base line towards Riley. Third base coach Quentin Berry will pick it up. Cubbies trying to snap a 4-game skid. Braves 4-game win streak with the best record in baseball at 30-13 after the win the last 2 nights. Another 0-2. That is right in there. Whatever Horner was looking for, it wasn't that.
Well, you know, you got the slider and the curveball with Ronaldo in an 0-2 count. Perhaps you're thinking he's going to try to throw something outside of the zone. Instead, you get 95. It just locks you up.
So Horner is 0 for 3 with a walk tonight, and now here's Bregman. To left, Dubon will go over, won't have a play.
So the other thing you wonder, and I think about it too, with Pete Crow Armstrong out there, you got a runner at second. Is he giving away location? Is he maybe potentially thinking he's relaying some signs?
I mean, that was 95, literally center cut.
I mean,
I don't know what you're looking for. Even if you're looking for a slider, you think you at least emergency hack.
Yeah. I feel like he had it in his mind that he knew a breaking ball potentially was coming, and he was wrong.
So maybe PCA transmitting the wrong signal there.
Might have been.
I don't know, but that was interesting.
So if you're trying to peek in the glove and you think you have a look at it, that's kind of the idea behind it. But, I mean, as soon as a teammate does you wrong like that, I mean, you got to call it off, right?
Well, we used to always say, because right, you're trying to pick up signs. Everybody does it, but it was like, you better be 100% sure.
Yeah.
And with 2 strikes, you know, you don't have another whack at that thing.
Bregman stays alive. Another foul ball at 96 miles per hour.
So when we got the ABS stuff that came in and some guys were losing inches from real height to listed height, I think he was at least 2 or maybe 3 that Alex Bregman went down, right? You list yourself at one thing. ABS says, no, we need exact. It might have been 3 inches for him, but at least 2.
That's what happens when you get older.
Liner out to center. It's tough to go that direction. You kind of hope it works the opposite. It's a good time to stretch. Stretch everything and everybody, and we'll be back.
Welcome to The Stretch, fueled by Georgia Natural Gas. Service, savings, sustainability. It's that simple.
Welcome into The Stretch, fueled by Georgia Natural Gas. I'm Lauren Saad, that's Peter Moylan. And Peter, we've seen some great pitching in this one, but let's of course talk about our guy, Chris Sale. 6 solid innings with 8 strikeouts.
Just an incredible performance from Chris Sale once again. We knew the bullpen was going to be a little bit light, so we needed him to get deep in this game. 1st and 3rd in the 1st inning, and he just went, forget beast mode. He went to Chris Sale mode, reached down, got 2 punch outs to get himself out of that. Got the pitch count back under control in the middle of this game by relying on his defense. He's just a superstar who I don't think I took him for granted until I got to see him play every single day or every 5 days. He's just one of a kind, an absolute Hall of Famer in my book, with no matter what happens between now and the end of his career. It's so good to see him out there every 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, great stuff from him, but not surprising at all. Well, here's to hoping the offense can come alive in the 8th inning like we saw last night. We'll get you back to Braves baseball after a quick word from our friends at Georgia Natural Gas.
When it comes to natural gas in Georgia, G&G leads the league. We keep it simple with great rates that save you money. We even make it easy to reduce your carbon footprint with greener life. Sign up in minutes at gng.com. It's that simple.
Well, in case you miss it, MLB came out with their power rankings, and the Braves were number 2. What team was number 1? Well, the Cubs. Yeah, they're 2 great teams, but I think the Braves kind of took that personal. Now, we got a little ways to go. What do I like about this? Well, no promises, but the Braves have 15 come from behind wins that season. That's good enough for number 1 in all of baseball. Guys, can we do it again?
I like your thinking, Birdie.
I think we can do it, Birdie.
There we go. Rally beer for CJ.
Oh, it still went everywhere.
Still, yeah.
See, it wasn't Chef just hurting us. He did it to everybody. Dubon had a big homer last night in the 8th. Here in the 7th, he's going to fly to right. So we do the Cracker Jack toss, right, guys? Mm-hmm. And at the end of it, we had a couple of candies to give out. So I had some Skittles. So I'm looking who to throw it to. I found a little kid, and then I noticed he's waving his arms, but he's in a Cubs jersey.
Oh, beat it.
Couldn't have been more than 8. So I pointed to him. I was like, I can't throw it to you. You got on the Cubs jersey. He gave me the middle finger.
Let's go.
Did he really?
Yeah.
So your instincts were completely right.
It was like 8. I was like, wow, that escalated quickly. So I threw it to a little girl in a Braves jersey.
You want us to get that kid kicked out of here? I mean, let's do it.
I guess I appreciate the passion to some degree. I don't know.
Brandon just got punked by an 8.
I love the thought of it.
I was so
the feeling that you must have had in your chest at that moment.
I was so thrown off. I didn't know how to react.
His parents ought to be proud the way they're raising him.
I felt like Nico Horner when he got 95 down the gut. Well, it is Phil Maton, who had the struggles last night, coming on here in the 7th.
Right back on the horse, right? Clearly back out there. You think about this bullpen, even though it's been an up and down year, he is a very important piece. They addressed their bullpen in a big way this past offseason, did the Chicago Cubs, bringing in a lot of free agents. It's where they started. And of course, the offseason got even better. And eventually they got Alex Bregman.
As we said last night, it seems like for the Cubs, as the season goes down to the wire later August, September, postseason, it'll hinge on that starting pitching and the health of that rotation.
100%. I would agree. It's a good team. That's why they were ranked 1 in those power rankings. Take that for what it's worth. But right now dealing with some injuries and probably need to address starting pitching as you get later into the season.
Such a big blow to lose Cade Horton to the Tommy John surgery. Justin Steele won't return until the second half with a flexor strain, and then Matthew Boyd went on the IL last week after having surgery on his meniscus. 3-2 here to Riley.
It's a good guy for Riley right here. Try to drive that ball into the Braves bullpen over there. Hit that right center gap. Mostly that sweeper, everything trying to hit that edge away. Don't worry too much about getting beat in.
That came in.
Yeah, but even at that, look, that was a way back up cutter. But again, it's 88, so you can foul that off every time.
He's not throwing him a fastball yet. It's been all cutters and sweepers. 7 pitches into this plate appearance.
See if some Brave can hit a homer here. It was on this date back in '67 that Mickey Mantle hit his 500th career homer. So maybe somebody with a celebration of that occasion. Ooh, big swing.
I wish I saw it. I didn't see it. I keep picturing this kid flipping off BG, and it makes me smile.
I was shook. I was completely shook. I thought we shared a lighthearted moment. Went downhill quickly. I got him. Cutter up and in.
It wasn't a good version of the cutter. He gets away with it. It's almost like bad was better than a little bit bad.
And the thing is, too, you see everything so well out of his hand because it's only 88, 89. So sometimes for those guys, you get in that swing mode, too, because you feel like you can foul anything off.
Dom Smith, he's not phased. He just continues to hit the baseball at a high rate.
Yeah, we go back to that 5th inning. Remember when Dom stayed in the ball game? This is exactly why, because you knew here we are in the 7th now, and if we don't score, chances are he can easily come back up in that 9th inning.
We didn't wait around. Remember, he punched out in the at-bat last night against Mayton on a curveball. Instead, first pitch fastball, and it's a base hit.
Ha-Seong Kim, 3rd game back after missing the first 41 with that torn tendon in his right middle finger. 1 for 8 so far on the young season for the Braves shortstop. Jacob Webb now up for the Cubs. Kim loses the helmet, swings through the cutter, and the Braves still scoreless through 7.
The morning.
Red Sox in town tomorrow. Who wants?
Brad and Ed showdown.
Presented
guys
by
are permanent.
Guys are permanent. We're red tomorrow. It's a red out.
It's a red out
against the Red Sox. We'll go on the air with the pregame at 6:30. First pitch 7:15. All right, Lopez will try to get through a couple of innings here and keep this a 1-0 ball game. You got Bummer in the pen. Talking about that 2015 draft, Ian Happ was in that draft as well. He was a first rounder for the Cubs that year with Dansby, Bregman, and Kyle Tucker.
So the Bummer part of this is interesting, right? You got the switch hitter Happ, who's up now. A couple of righties. I guess Bummer probably getting ready potentially for Bush, who is still up 4th.
So.
Hopefully don't get that far. Drilled. That one's not coming back. 10th of the year for Happ, 2-0. That is the first extra base hit for either team tonight.
Hanging sliders go a long ways, and this one was, I mean, up center cut. A good hitter like Cap's not going to miss that pitch.
Your eyes got to light up, right? When you see a guy get underneath it and it just pops up out of his hand, you get such a great read on spin.
Yeah, and those are the ones too swing. You don't even have to do a lot. It's just get the bat head in the right spot, and the way that ball's coming in, it'll elevate itself.
424 feet to the chop house. That is the first extra base hit for the Cubs in the last 21 innings, as their offense has been struggling. They got a run without a hit in the 6th, and then that long ball there by Happ here in the 8th. Suzuki sends that over into the Braves dugout. Slow curve at just 71 miles per hour. And Drake Baldwin making a nice catch into the net.
You were just hoping this one was going to stay in the ballpark. It wasn't hit very hard either against that slow curveball that you're talking about. You get some of that backspin, and Drake plays it perfectly right up against the net.
Yeah, just was able to get in the glove before it tipped the net.
Let's see if Lopez can get Shaw now. Shaw had the RBI in the 6th. This could be a trade piece at the deadline. Matt Shaw, maybe.
I think so. I think they have to wait and kind of see how things play out. Once they signed Nico Horner and got that deal done, knowing that their infield is set, probably. Now we've seen him in the outfield. I think, does he stay as a utility piece that you can use and you can play matchups with? Maybe. I mean, teams may come calling for the Cubs, though they won't necessarily be pressed to do it. Now, if it's to get that starting pitcher deadline, then sure.
Piece.
But they have options and flexibility, so they won't be necessarily put in that spot. But it is also a good piece, one of their top prospects going into last year.
Craig Counsell, we were telling you before the game about the relationship with Craig Counsell and Brave skipper Walt Weiss. As Walt Weiss was a mentor to Craig Counsell. 95 when Counsell first came up with the Rockies, Walt Weiss was there, and during spring training Walt would take him out to breakfast. Craig Counsell would pick his brain, and they've maintained a good relationship ever since. A couple of good ones. Ozzie into the outfield grass. Well done.
French, you're not going to want to miss a moment this season with Braves.tv. Stream the entire season within the Braves territory for just $79.99. You can watch games at home or on the go or at the beach. Stay connected all year long and is subject to national exclusive games. Make sure you visit Braves.tv for details and start streaming today.
Right now.
Go.
Well, we suspected that it would be Bummer coming on here after Shaw, and that will be the case. We'll be back to Truist Park in a moment. 2 down, and Bummer is on to face Michael Busch.
18th time this season for Aaron Bummer coming out of this Braves bullpen. The ground ball rate just under 50% for him, and 49 strikeout rate there at 18%.
Lopez an inning and 2/3. That one mistake that he hung to Happ for the solo homer. Keep in mind as we get late here in this ball game, 2 challenges still for both the Cubs and the Braves.
I mentioned with John Lipka, 11 ABS overturns coming into this one, 2 so far here tonight.
1-2. Paul Bird's back behind home plate. You got a good look back there, Birdie?
You found me, Brandon. Can't get anything past you. It's like, where's Waldo? Yeah, I'm seeing really good action on bummer, slider, sinker, off the chain.
What's he coming with here, Birdie?
I got to go slider again. Lefty, lefty. Yes. Ooh.
He avoided it. 2-2. Birdie, you're rocking that quarter zip too.
Yeah, a little chilly. Thanks to you, I'm rocking this quarter zip.
You pull it off just like your horse Max. Never know.
For those who don't know, Brandon Godden got us he's responsible for all the clothing that we wear, so I got to give you a big shout out.
Yeah, but I think I've got everyone a little confused. I think we got too many options in the arsenal at this point.
A lot of options.
It's 19 different shades of baby blue. Two-seamer ultimately gets Bush here to end the top of the 8th.
A good looking pitch here. Maybe a little confidence boost here for Aaron Bummer. Left on left to get the punch out and keep things where they are.
Better.
So if you ever come to Truist Park, this guy is always on the video board in between innings doing this.
He's better than Wiley.
Yeah, well, low bar, but yes. Keeps the folks entertained here. Trying to get the crowd rejuvenated. It's been an exciting series for Atlanta, but tonight the Cubs pitching shutting the Braves out, and now it's the former Brave Jacob Webb.
Take note of those splits right there, right? The righties hitting 200 points higher than the lefties so far this year, and the strikeouts go with it. That strikeout rate only 13% right on right, 33% right on left. So
and it's that
changeup
changeup right there. You see the pitch he swung at. It's got great action to it. To righties, they have a chance coming into him a little bit. They can foul it off.
Gets ahead of Yastrzemski. 0-2.
So you bring that up, and I look over and I see that he uses that changeup to righties about 25% of the time, and they're hitting 625 against it.
There you go.
The lefties not so much at 158.
Routine out towards Pete Crow Armstrong. Our Georgia Natural Gas Greener Life Impact player is a man coming up to the plate right now, Drake Baldwin. The numbers from this season, and certainly for Drake, they have been wonderful.
Well, he won that Rookie of the Year last year, right? And you're always wondering, what are you going to do to come out? And I mean, him and Matt Olson, probably the two most consistent hitters all season. This is kind of one of those things for him. I like the matchup because Drake lets the ball get deep. He sees it a long time, so you're not going to see him fish as much for that changeup. He should get something to hit and put a good swing on it.
And he can cover it too. It's one thing we've noticed with him is that there's a little bit more chase this year, but he's covering it really good.
Yeah.
He's getting hits from those pitches that are outside the strike zone. A little Ozzie-like to some degree.
Well, and look, he's on pace, hit 30, 35 home runs. So I think you don't mind a little bit more of a chase as long as it's controlled.
He had to reach for that homer he hit last night to right center.
That was unbelievable. I mean, I think we all thought, including Shota Imanaga, that was no way he's driving that out of the ballpark based on where it was, down and away and pretty much below the zone.
Reaches for this, sends it to right field. It drops. Baldwin thought about going to second, but makes a U-turn back to first base for a single.
Well, another nice piece of hitting. Look at this changeup. Supposed to be farther away, but still, Drake just goes out and hooks this thing.
And I think he makes the right choice. Shaw does not have a great arm in right field, but it's risk versus reward right now when you're down by two.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's a 1-0 ball game. Maybe you take that opportunity to get in scoring position.
Ozzie, foul ball, 0-1.
It's probably the last fastball he sees in the zone, right? I mean, thinking about, and you're, of course, got that changeup in the back of your mind, so he's way out in front of it.
Craig Counsell hoping his team could salvage the series here at Truist Park before they head back to Chicago.
Craig Counsell's doing some serious pacing down in the dugout the last 2 innings.
He always does, man. I remember his years in Milwaukee where the bullpen phone was located at home. He'd kind of walk back to it, get close to it, not pick it up, then walk back to his post. He definitely gets a little bit nervous. Not nervous in a bad way, but he gets a little anxious.
He can breathe a little easier after this second out as Ozzie flies to Happ. Always liked Craig Counsell as a player. Of course, winning those 2 World Series. Always remember him scoring the winning run for the Marlins on that Edgar Renteria winner in the '97 series for the Marlins. And then he was also on base when Luis Gonzalez got the game-winning hit in that '01 World Series for the Diamondbacks. Matt Olson gets that changeup, swings through it.
Thought it had to be a little bit unusual for him, right? He leaves the Brewers. He goes to the Cubs. The Brewers hire Pat Murphy because he's the bench guy, and
he still lives in Milwaukee.
And the Brewers go out and win back-to-back NL Central divisions. Well, all the expectation has been on the Cubs.
Now, same thing you think about David Stearns. He leaves and goes to New York. Matt Arnold comes in. Obviously, great managers and stuff, but they're still. He's calling somebody.
That was a lengthy conversation. It's usually get Bob up.
Palencia getting ready for the 9th.
Or the 8th, depending.
See what happens here. Olson down 0-2.
I think the way he's firing, certainly. But again, you have really good backward splits for Webb. And you're not going to pinch hit a righty against him just because he has struggled against righties.
Maybe you're telling him if Dubon comes up this inning, he's yours.
Probably.
A ball and 2 strikes. And Olson fouls off 94. Some rally caps on here in Atlanta. 14 homers, 37 driven in for Matty. But he strikes out here against that changeup from the former Brave, Jacob Webb. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Georgia Power. Score big savings at georgiapower.com/tips. By Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust. And by Alpha Insurance, your winning lineup for auto, home, life, and health. Skies are clear, 63 degrees, on to the 9th. 2-0 Cubs. And Bummer still out there to face the bottom 3 in the order. The Atlanta kid, Dansby Swanson, who was born in Kennesaw, went to Marietta High School at the plate.
Frenchie, have you ever been over there and see what he has done to Marietta High School? Both the softball and baseball field, beautiful. He's really nice job giving back to that program. They got great turf fields, nice stands. It's one of the better high school fields in the Atlanta area.
Oh, Bummer, look what I found. He'll take that. And Dansby Swanson is retired. He is now 0-for-9 in the series. He was also a heck of a high school basketball player. He was a three-point shooter. He hit 165 threes in his high school career.
Fill up the net with that.
He said basketball was his first love, but he realized he wasn't going to be very tall and ultimately was better at baseball. Need a three-point competition between Dansby and Gretchen Caney, our producer, because she was known to really light it up for the Decatur Bulldogs back in the day. Out in right field, Yaz has it. By the way, a hat tip to the great David White, who's filling in these 3 games for Gretchen. He's going to be with us throughout the year. Always great to work with David White. We've done it previous seasons, but now good to have him in the truck as part of the Braves Vision crew.
In worst case, he's getting a series win. We're looking for a sweep, but everybody keeps track of their record. What shirt we have on, what uniform the Braves are wearing, who's producing, who's directing.
Are we going to have to do the bottom of the ninth rally button?
You know, here's the thing about the rally button. There were some folks that were saying, including my oldest son Matthew, like, oh, you got to wear your shirt like that all the time. I said, no, that's a no. It's got to feel natural. So yesterday during the game, we noticed that J.R. Ritchie had his second button unbuttoned by accident.
On the ninth,
So we decide, you know what? We'll go ahead and try it, and we'll see if we can tap into some of that magic. The Braves come back. They win the game. It was a really big inning. But I'm not a believer when you do it all the time. You got to feel it.
Yeah. Another set of Miller highlights probably is better.
That also didn't work. At least not yet.
But it was refreshing. After it bubbled over and made a mess on the counter up here. Bummer looking for a 1-2-3 frame. This should do it. Shallow, Harris in. And guess who will lead off the bottom of the ninth? That man, Michael Harris. Then Mauricio Dubon. Then Austin Riley as the Braves search for truest magic tonight. Well, the Atlanta Braves have 15 come from behind victories this year. That is the most in Major League Baseball. And tonight they look for number 16, down 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. On the mound, it is Palencia. It's been an interesting season. He missed a few weeks with a lat strain. It was off to a good start, but then gave up a homer Sunday to Evan Carter.
It's a big time arm. Fastball sits at 99. You get a slider and a split to go with it as well. He needed some help last year. They pushed him pretty hard, and they got him that help so they can kind of leave him in just this closer position. Lefties have done a nice job against him, 4 for 14 so far.
And the righty's got that good kind of just bowling ball into you a little bit. It's got some nice ride.
Harris, Dubon, and Riley. Michael comes up swinging 100 triple digits from Palencia. Braves have only been shut out once. That was April 11th against Cleveland. Cubs trying to do it to Atlanta for the second time here on May 14th.
101 painted down low.
Not much you can do with that
at all.
And Michael went.
He tried, you could tell, and he knew. He puts his head down right away.
One away, and Dubon at the plate. Doobie 0 for 3 tonight. Painted on the corner. Again, 101 from Palencia.
He looks well rested tonight, doesn't he?
It's velo and its location.
First time pitching since Sunday. Another triple digit pitch and another strikeout for Palencia.
You talk about the life that you get on this thing. That is pretty impressive to get up above the barrel of Mauricio Dubon, and late too.
See if Riley can get on base here and give a chance to Dom Smith in the on deck circle. He's 2 pitches away from an immaculate inning here in the ninth.
Ball.
Let's go. There you go.
There it is. He will not have an immaculate inning.
Way to get him, Brandon.
So the Braves stay home and host the Red Sox tomorrow. The Cubs go back to Chicago, but they're actually on the road for 3 in the South Side to take on the White Sox over the weekend. Back-to-back balls. Certainly would take a walk.
Yeah, I mean, Austin's got to find a way to get on. You got Dom Smith on deck, but you need that tying run on first.
Three balls and 1 strike. Riley waits. Riley to right field, and this ball game will continue. Tying run to the plate.
That's a nice piece right there.
Even ahead in the count, right? Not trying to do too much, because you know you're getting high octane velocity, so shorten it up and still just go the other way.
Yeah, off the end of the bat. Again, needed that base runner. And
well, you give Dom Smith that chance. We have seen his heroics this season quite a few times for the first-year Brave. Does he have another one in the tank tonight? This will get out of play into the seats. He really introduced himself to Braves country, second game of the season with that walk-off grand slam here on March 28th against the Royals. 0-2. Palencia has thrown 2 fastballs to Smith, both at 100 miles per hour. Ooh, 101 that time. Is it just going to be all gas here from Palencia?
well, the hard thing, right, is it's late on everything. Do you chance one to spin it and you speed up his bat?
Not in the zone. Outside of the zone, maybe.
Do you feel comfortable throwing it out of the zone?
Riley will take second base. They won't challenge that.
Like most times we throw 100, 101, your off speed's not awesome, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
now the 1-2. Dom Smith out to center. And the Cubs do win game 3 to salvage the series. Braves are shut out for just the second time this season. The final 2-0.
It's a well-pitched series, certainly, and tonight for the Cubs, they did a really nice job. Their bullpen showed up. We saw the unearned run, the error, some defensive miscues. We really haven't seen them all year long for the Atlanta Braves, but it's still a good series. You take 2 out of 3 from the team that was power ranked #1 coming into the series.
yeah, Birdie said it best. They were 1. I think that will probably switch. Good series, and you get a fun one this weekend. So this team continues to play good baseball.
And tomorrow the Red Sox come to town for 3. Going to be a nice weekend set here at Truist Park. Post game, stay tuned. Lauren and Peter will take you the rest of the way. They'll recap this one. They will look ahead to the Red Out tomorrow night against the Red Sox. The former Boston Red Sox pitcher Chris Sale was great, but unfortunately the Braves shut out tonight 2-0 by the Cubbies. Thanks to our entire crew as always. For Paul Bird downstairs, to my left, CJ Nitkowski and Jeff Francoeur. I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off and saying so long, everybody.